Obviously, the biggest defining moment would be to actually referee a main event at WrestleMania. With all due respect to all the other companies out there, there's no bigger show, there's no bigger company than the WWE and WrestleMania. And to be, uh, you know, hand chosen by the participants in that match to referee that match because I wasn't originally scheduled to officiate that match. It was, Undertaker and Edge specifically who, lobbied to have me referee that match, which is a huge honor because we're both Toronto boys. I was there when he first began with the WWE and watched his career blossom into what it became and one of the best wrestlers in the world at the time. And still to this day, you can make that argument that he's still in the upper echelon. Let's put it that way. So that was a huge defining moment. Another one would be actually working my first television tapings. Let me mute my phone here. My first television tapings, because there was again, I got shifted into doing another match and I think it was more of a test than anything to see how I would respond, where they had me take, do you remember the one man gang and his finish, the 747?
Mhm.
I ended up taking that as a referee bump. And that was a big test. And I guess I passed the test because they said, okay, you're good. Let's move on from here. And, um, man, so many that I guess getting to officiate, I mentioned the main event of WrestleMania, but to officiate at my first WrestleMania, which was WrestleMania 4,
Mm.
which is amazing because, I had only been refereeing maybe a year at the time. So to be, brought in to do that, that was special as well.
I wonder, and I know every fan has always wanted to know what this feels like. And if you could bottle the feeling, I imagine you'd be a very wealthy man. But when you're in the middle of a spectacle like a WrestleMania that, as you alluded to, is on a level that, other companies could only dream of. When you're in the middle of an environment like that, and not just the amount of people, but the buzz around it, the sort of aura, the prestige, the millions and millions watching worldwide, what does that feel like to stand in the middle of that ring?
It to try to stay away from the cliches, but at the same time, it is an incredible feeling. You're standing there, especially as WrestleMania evolved into becoming stadium shows as opposed to arena shows, and now you're getting upwards over 50,000 people in a venue, and you feed off their energy. And as a referee, sometimes you have to kind of temper that and say, okay, this isn't, I got to calm down. I got to remember I got a job to do here. And, as I, you know, preach to other young referees, you're not the focal point. You have to kind of stay tempered and not be a distraction and remember to do your job. So that's the hard part because the adrenaline rush you get, it's incredible. I mean, you walk out there and you look around and people are, it's indescribable. I can only imagine, um, how it feels for others, like the talent themselves. Again, they have to remember also that they've got a job to do, but their job is different. I don't need to listen to the audience during a match. They do because that is their meter, their gauge on how to respond and how to proceed with the match. If things are going well and the audience is working, but every once in a while, I'll tell you this, every once in a while, sometimes one of the guys will say, hey, I, I'm not hearing them. Are the crowd with it? And you have to like kind of like, yeah, they are. No, they're not. But it's an incredible feeling. It's indescribable. You have to. I wish everybody could experience that just once in their life, just to know what it feels like.
Yeah. I wish I could. And just going back to what you said about that Undertaker and Edge sort of hand choosing you for that role. What was it about you that you think they thought you could bring to the match and really help them achieve what they wanted to achieve?
Uh, I I would assume it's because, they first of all they had, confidence that I would be there for them, which is what what I strived for throughout my career was to be there for the talent and help them tell the story they wanted to tell. without being that distraction, like I mentioned earlier. And when I first, when they first approached me about, refereeing the match, I just said, I just said, uh, this is a amazing feeling. Thank you so much for trusting me. I will do my best to be there for you, be there for them. And Taker looked at me and says, we know you will. That's why we want you there. And I was like, they say there's no crying in wrestling. I had to, I had to fight it back, hold back the tears.